The Camp of Sacred Stones calls on all people of conscience from all nations across the world to stand with natives and non-natives who are putting their bodies in front of the pipeline machines and militarized police to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline, also known as DAPL. The camp has asked us to target the banks funding DAPL and the sheriff departments that have been brutalizing peaceful water protectors. They call on us for a month of solidarity with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and tribes from across the continent, beginning with this event today that is the Global Day of Solidarity Action.
This is the largest divestment movement going on in United States history right now. This is huge, huge. Seattle alone, $3 billion moving away from this bank, we hope.
And if you want to close an account, we hope you do. Here's this and information on the back as well. So talk to your friends, your family, ask them where they bank. Some of us don't want to do that, but let's start. Ask everyone where they bank, tell them to close their accounts.
We work too hard to put our money in the pockets of corporations who fund the destruction of this planet that we share. Today, we divest our money in support of our First Nations brothers and sisters who stand to protect their sacred waters in ceremony to halt the construction of the DAPL.
My name's Rachel Heaton. I'm a Muckleshoot tribal member. I'm a Native American woman. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a human being. You're a human being. Every person here needs water, every single one of us. There's a lot of people out here that don't get it. And I think they think that we can live off oil, but the reality is we can't. The reason we're here is because we stand in solidarity with Standing Rock. I just got back this last Saturday night from Standing Rock on my third trip. And I was there on November 20th when they were releasing water cannons on our people. And they were shooting rubber bullets at them. And they were hurting our people because we're just trying to protect the water. We're all trying to protect the water. If we don't protect this water, our children are inheriting this, our grandchildren. This isn't just about decisions that we're making for us for today. So when we sit down at night, when we're thinking about the struggles that are going on in life, the things that are going on, please keep our protectors over in Standing Rock in your prayers, because they're on the front lines. They're over there fighting for our water. They're fighting for your children. They're fighting for my children. They're fighting for our future generations. And they're fighting for humans, for 18 million people that will be affected if this is allowed to happen. It's not a matter of if this pipeline is going to break. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That's right. And when it busts, it's going to go down the Missouri, it's going to go down the Mississippi, and it's going to go into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to affect 18 million people directly. But that doesn't include what's going to happen over the years when it seeps into our creeks, and it seeps into the land, and it affects our crops, and it affects our drinking water, and it affects everything that we're doing. Again, this is not just a Native American problem. Yes, we did bring the issue to light. It started with the youth running over to Washington, D.C. Let's give them a hand. I'm sorry, guys, but it started with the women, too. That's right. Our women have been the forefront for this movement. Our women are going to bring that balance back to what we're trying to do. Our women are our strength. When these men are on the front lines and some of our women warriors are on the front lines, it's the women that are holding the grounds down. And it's the women that are going to keep this movement going. And so I bring this to light today because the other day, those women, hundreds of them, marched down to the front line. And it was a beautiful thing. And they stood together. They stood in solidarity. And they didn't break that prayer. They didn't let the men stop them. They didn't let those officers stop them. They didn't let those armored vehicles or the threat of rubber bullets or water cannons or any of those things stop them for what they were doing. And so that's what this is about. This is about a movement of prayerful, spiritual movement. This is not about reacting in violence. And so if we can do simple things like divest, defund DAPL, if we can remove our money from these banks, if you think about it, if all of the supporters, if all people supporting no DAPL were to clear their accounts today, can you imagine the damage that we would do to these banks? I think they wouldn't be investing in these fossil fuel projects as much. So we have to think about that. As much as our corporate world doesn't want to hear this, we have to start moving to renewable resources. Right. We have to start looking towards our sun, towards our wind, towards our water for clean, renewable resources, because fossil fuels is not the answer. Right. And so as a mother, I stand up here with each one of you today because I'm fighting for your children too. You're fighting for your children. You're fighting for my children. When you stand and you support these direct actions, direct action is walking in there and taking your money out of these accounts. When you take that time, you are taking direct action. You are supporting no DAPL. And all of us can't be over there in Standing Rock, but we can do these simple, small things to bring awareness to this issue, to stop these projects. And more than anything, to save our water, to save our clean water. Because Mini Wichoni, water is life.